All right, I think it's on. Welcome, body odor sufferers. Today, this is the third interview, and I'm interviewing a man named Ant. Excuse me, Ant. Tell us about yourself. Where are you from? What age are you?
I'm from Broward County. Born in Miami-Dade, but I'm 22 years old.
And
That's
what are
pretty
you
much.
suffering from at the moment?
I don't know. Sometimes it has its days. Like primarily, like I guess it would be like bad breath or like um body odor, but that's when I'm like active or like I'm sweating or something like that.
Mm. So, when did it all start for you?
Um, that I can't put a time frame on because it's like I feel like it's been probably since I was younger, maybe like fifth, sixth grade, but like
Fifth and
growing
sixth
up,
grade?
yeah, but like growing up throughout high school and everything like that, like where I come from, like you get roasted, you know what I'm saying? Like when
Yeah.
I went to school, this definitely in Miami, like people are always ranking and stuff like that, but I never got anything like that, and I was like part of it, and like I never really got any negative comments. Like I had girlfriends, everything, but when I started to notice it was like probably maybe 4 years ago, 3 years ago. Like, I don't know, it would just be like
What was like the first memory you have where someone talked about your bad breath?
I was in the car with my friend, um, and we smoked, and when um when he was dropping me home, we had a long ride home. It was like from Sunrise down back to Miramar, and which is like a 12, 15 mile distance. And it
Hmm.
was like, um, yo, like, what is that, yo? Like, that shit smell weird or something like that. I'm like, yo, I don't really know. And then when like I got inside my room in my house, I'm like, damn, what is that for real? And that's when I kind of started figuring out it was me. And like, especially after like I was smoking, like when I was done smoking, that's when it's like at its worst.
So whenever you like talked, you smelled the breath and you were like,
Before
is that
that,
my breath?
nah. Before that, nah. I never like knew it was me type until he said something. I was like, damn, it real deal might just be me. Cause at the same time, I was living with my grandma. My grandma like used to like she was older and wore diapers and stuff like that. So if I would have just came inside the house or whatever, like you wouldn't be able to say it's just me. You know what I mean? So like
Hmm.
people would like in my house they would always just be like, okay, it's my grandma, or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I really didn't notice till um around that time, and then when I stopped living with my grandma, like I was like, yeah, all right, like it's me, especially after I burned.
But but you can like detect, you can smell the breath, the
At
bad
this
odor coming
point
from.
now, yeah, like at this point now, yeah, like
But early
I'm
on, you
like,
couldn't.
yeah. Early on, no, I couldn't at all, and like people really didn't make like throughout high school and everything like that. People never made comments on that. Like
But you
I
said
was
you
like
got it like
like
three
I
to
was kind
four
of
years
like,
ago.
yeah,
So you were like 19 at the time when you started first experiencing it.
basically. And the crazy thing about it was like I had a girlfriend, like
Mm,
2 years strong. You know what I'm saying? Like everything was straight.
mm. So when you first got the comment and then you started realizing, oh, this is me. Like, what point did you start realizing it was you? Like that night when you were
Yeah,
smoking
it
with your
was
friend.
that night. It was definitely that night. And after
And then
that,
what?
I thought I would think like my immediate action was to just always have gum on me, and then like I started noticing that gum had no like effect. Like sometimes it would make it smell worse. So then that's when like I went to the dentist, and um they would like do deep cleanings, things like that, whatever, whoop wop, and I'll go back home and it'll be the same thing. So it was just like what, like
Like when you can I ask, like when you went to your dentist and you explained like you have this bad odor or weird odor about yourself, could he detect it? Did he acknowledge that he could smell it, or
not
was he like,
necessarily. He kind of just like proceeded on with like his job, like doing whatever he was doing.
Mm, Now you did say like when you were in fifth and sixth grade, there was some instances. Can you talk about that a little bit more? What
I mean, there
actually
was no
happened?
instance. There was no instance. There was just one girl that like I would like. She was like my crush or whatever, and then like years later, she told me like, "Oh yeah, you had like a bad breath like problem or something like that, like when we were younger." And like I never
Really?
like that was the first time I ever heard that.
When did she tell you this?
Yo, that's so long ago. I don't even remember. Like that's like good 10 years ago. Like
Wow, 10 years ago. Mm. So you
yeah, like
said
I was
like,
definitely like around 12.
all right, okay. So when you said that you had a girlfriend at the time when this odor, this bad breath came about you, she didn't say anything, make any notices or make any mentions that, you have some funk in your mouth or something like that.
Not necessarily because she knew that I was going to the dentist and like trying to get my mouth clean. Because it was like she knew I was like I'm a clean freak. Like I'm OCD, yo. Like shower like 3 times a day. So she knew like I was clean and everything like that. So she just knew I was going to the dentist and trying to get it fixed. So she just I guess she just kind of rushed it under the rug.
But you saw like instances because I would think like someone who has bad breath and you're probably talking to your girlfriend back and forth all the time, she's gonna like make reactions or make you'll see facial expressions where she's like bothered by your breath. Have you seen that?
I mean, like looking back on it, like in the moment, I never really like thought about it. But looking back on it, I would just always remember like she probably just had like her hand on her nose. You know when like people
Oh,
just sit on the
really?
table, not hand on her nose, like very obviously, just like when people just subconsciously do
Do
it
with subtle
sometimes, and then
ways
look
like
at
this or
yeah,
something like that?
yeah, just like hold it up there and look at down at her phone or something. But I don't
Wow.
know. Sometimes I understand though the aspect of this disease is like paranoia. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, that is
sometimes
true.
people react, but then like there are natural reactions. Like I don't like there are some people in the support group on Facebook that are like, oh, through the glass they smelt me or whatever, and I'm like, yo, like
Yes, I remember reading
I
that. I
don't,
do remember reading that. I remember some reading some support group or
yeah,
some posts where they were saying, "Oh, I know this sounds crazy, but I'm at a call center, and when I'm talking to people, they're coughing and sneezing all throughout the time.
yeah,
That doesn't
like
make any
that
sense."
when I'm at my job, like I hear that too, but I'm like, yo, like. Nothing's going through the phone. If anything, you're gonna put something on that phone, and if someone in that same building uses the phone and then they pick it up and cough immediately or whatever, I'd understand that. But for someone to be on the completely other line, like somewhere else, like I don't know, man. I'm not gonna bash anyone, but I just don't agree with things like that. Like
No, but
people
I
have natural
definitely,
reactions.
yeah. When the thing is like when you can't detect the odor, you are going to get paranoid. So I definitely agree. Paranoia plays a major role for people who have this weird condition, especially if they can't detect it. So they're going to have
Yeah.
these wild imaginations that they can detect the odor through a brick wall or glass and stuff like that. That's
Yeah.
not really possible. Um, but so okay, so you said that you after you start realizing it was you started going to the doctor, going to the dentist, and then you also try to,
When I went to
get some
the
gum.
dentist, I figured out I had periodontal disease.
Oh,
And
yes. Speak about that a little bit more.
periodontal disease does have like halitosis as a thing because basically periodontal disease is bone loss in your like mouth area, jaw area, so that can lead to tooth loss, tooth decay, and whatnot. So there's a big portion of that. But I've been going to the dentist and getting those cleaned and teeth you know what I'm saying, like taken care of.
So you did
So
have like tooth decay and stuff?
yeah, at a certain point, yeah. So um, after getting all that taken care of, like my dentist told me, like, yo, like we've had patients like you with that problem, and like if it was just that, your mouth would not smell like you wouldn't like be able to detect your mouth and things like that after the treatment we've given you if it was just periodontal disease.
Mm, that's
So
interesting.
I
Did he
really
tell you like when you went to the dentist and they discovered that you had periodontal disease, did they immediately did they tell you how severe it is? Like is there like levels of severity in periodontal,
No,
and what
yeah,
you
they
were?
told me like it was pretty aggressive because like I don't know, I guess growing up like my mom had a lot to deal with, so she never like going to the dentist and whatnot. I was always given the options of what I needed to do and like i.e. braces and whatnot. And she never really like I never really got them done. So not putting any blame on my mom in any way whatsoever because she did everything she could to provide for the family. But it's like there's a couple things that could have been prevented, but unfortunately they were not. So um
Mm,
that's what the case is. And another issue is like I kind of really a lot of people dealing with this issue. I don't know the exact number or not. Like some live with mom and dad and have that support or whatever. But like for me, I gotta like I literally have to make everything on my own. Like I pay my own rent. Like I have to do all these things. So sometimes like it's not easy to just be able to afford to like go to the dentist, doctor, things like that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah. I know you said that when we used to talk that you have a job as a manager. Were you a shift manager or some type of manager at Panera Bread? Do they give you any type of like medical insurance?
With the promotion I got, yeah. But that actually started like today. Funny, ironically. But
Wow.
yeah, I'm seeking to take advantage of that, and with the promotion, I'm definitely gonna use that money to go ahead and go to the I feel like I'm gonna go to like like stomach. I for like for lack of the better of the correct term like of gastro whatever. Like I'm just gonna go to like the
Gastroenterologist?
stomach. Yeah, doctors like that and like check out the ears, nose, and throat doctor because I do feel like those things do play a lot of roles, like being backed up, stuffy with nose and mucus, things like that. But
Oh, you have a
growing
stuffy
up, I
nose too?
always, yeah, growing up, I always like ate just junk and whatnot. And like, I'm starting to understand that like after years of things like that growing in your gut and like I never liked lettuce. I never liked any form of like tomatoes or things like that. So I never ate it. So I fully understand that like diet is a big thing. And ever since I started changing my diet and eliminating all that food, like I've actually like with the routine I have now, like I'm not gonna say I get no reactions, but they're way better than before.
Mm. I did want to ask you, when you were going to the dentist and he diagnosed you with periodontal disease, um, and I guess you were going through a process like every week or so to like clean the teeth correctly and stuff.
Well, not
Um,
it wasn't necessarily. Yeah, continue.
yeah, I was gonna say like within that time period, have you ever like addressed to your former girlfriend, does my breath smell really bad or anything like that?
No, we never really addressed it. Like it was a lot of love we had, so we never kind of really addressed it. But like, if it did smell bad, she would just like slide me a gum or something like that. Like it was just kind of cool. You feel me? Like,
Mm, mm.
cause she knew I was dealing with the periodontal stuff and like trying to take care of it, so she just kind of like didn't judge.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I do wanted to ask you about your job. You said you just recently you now have like some type of benefits and stuff. How long were you working in Panera Bread?
About like 4 years.
About 4 years. And
Yeah, from like I rose the ranks like from like associate and whatnot.
okay, so 4 years. So okay, so this was before you even had like the odor issue with your breath, since it's 4 years. And you said you had like 3 to 4 years.
That's crazy too, cause I think back and I'm like, yo, like when I used to have my friend, like I was like in a group like of friends, like we hung out every day, like we would
Yeah.
smoke like all the time, like no one ever made a joke, like, and I'm telling you, you know where we from, like people crack all day, bro, like especially
Yeah.
when you like smoking or something. So it's like I don't know, man, like, and my dogs are always just sincere, like they would link up for everything. We'll go to the gym, everything, and like it was just always this. I don't know, man, like. I don't know. And like one just to like kind of just take it off topic 1 second, this woman at my job, like she's like a grandma to me and like I told her about it and she was like, yo, let me smell you. And she was like, I don't get a bad smell. Like so that was kind
Yeah.
of crazy to me at one point. She said that recently. She was like, no, I would tell you. She was like, I don't get that odor. But then I do see her like touch her nose or stuff things like that. But she wouldn't blatantly lie. Like I like she would tell me the truth. Like that kind of relationship we have.
Yeah, I mean, I've been on a number of jobs. I don't know this woman, so maybe she is. I'm just gonna assume she's telling the truth. But I have a number
Yeah.
of experiences where I mean, open with people and like, yo, I have this weirdest odor that makes me smell bad. I don't know if you notice this odor and stuff like that. And a good portion will be like, no, I never noticed any of that. I never noticed
Yeah.
that. But you know, I do would know like later on they would do like little hints or reactions I did smell bad, or
Yeah.
I would overhear them sometimes. So I don't know. I'm not going to say that my case is similar to yours. Maybe she can't truly smell it. I do feel like the older you are, your senses are not as strong. So when you said
Yeah.
that the woman was like your grandmother, I'm going to assume that she is very up in age. So maybe she
Yeah.
detect it as well
The
as like
thing is, I feel like she might have like a little bit of bad breath too, but just due to being an old woman, you know what I'm saying? Things
yeah.
like that. So, cause like I do get a different smell when I'm around her, so I'm like maybe it's just like she don't smell nothing, but I don't know. It's mad weird, man. Like some people get reactions, some people don't, and like
Yeah.
I definitely know it's there though, cause it's like it's not a crazy just I see people through windows, like everyone like I really come across like every single one like at a certain point they're gonna do it.
They're just
And
gonna rub
like
their nose. What are the common like reactions you get when you know that your breath smells bad?
when I know like it's like bad, it's just a real like a nose like rub like or a
Mhm.
nose hold. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
Oh,
like
some people hold their nose in front of you
no. Like what I mean by that is when they put their one like their index finger, like they just
like
rest their
this or
index
something like
finger.
that.
Yeah. Like but like holding their like whole like jaw type thing.
Holding their whole jaw.
Like you see what you're doing right there, just put your index over
Oh,
your
like
like
this.
yeah.
Mm.
Like just resting, sitting or whatever, but just like that.
And you actually heard people. You have actually overheard people say you smell your breath smells really bad.
Nah, not necessarily. I've
Oh,
never
you
heard
never
it.
heard that.
Nah. A lot of people say that's why, and to touch base on the other part, it's just like when the body odor issue comes in, like now, like a lot of people I smell good say I smell good, like when they hug me, like I'm telling you, like females like smelling like bad, and I'm like, yo, when they hug me, like, oh, you smell so good, and I'm just like in my head, I'm like, yo, what the hell, like what, how, like, cause
Because your
like
body.
I got like good hair, I guess you could say. So like I always have good treatment and that smells good and like I'm always wearing like Old Spice or whatever deodorant and like Polo perfume. So they just be like, yo, you smell good and they hug me for a long time and I'm like, yo, that's crazy. And they'll back
Well,
up for me 1 second, like they'll react like or whatever. Like
oh, they'll
the
back up from you.
common not no, they won't back up, but you know what I'm saying? Just like normal, just like okay, I hugged you, like you know what I'm saying, like you separate, like you don't when you
Yeah.
finish a hug, you don't stand there,
Yeah. Makes
like
sense.
you just normally like kind of just back up a little bit. So,
Yeah.
or, like after the backup, you'd hear like a, you know what I'm saying, like
Do you get like people that have running noses when you talk to them? Like once you start talking to them, maybe you start seeing them sniffle a little
I
bit because
ask, I don't care. Sometimes I'm like, yo, are you sick or something? And if they're like, nah, then I'm like, okay, I know that's probably because of me. Because like if they're like, yeah, then I know okay, they have runny noses, and I know people with allergies. Like my sister has bad allergies, so when we're on the phone, I hear her do it. Like when I see her do it, but I don't think that's me. When I get around her, I do know I contribute, but I don't think that's me because she always had it. And like, so I know there are people out there that just do it. So that just keeps me sane and not paranoid. Like every single body's like, oh my God, like I can smell this one guy. Like, um, but
okay,
with my sister being like that, like yeah, it makes me understand that there are people out there that just like have allergies. But that's what brought me to the PATM issue. Like people allergic to me. Like, do I make them do that? But I don't really know, man. Like I sometimes I go somewhere and then like I get the urge to cough or like I
yeah,
get the urge to sneeze. Like and I'm like, there's nothing really directly related to that. I just had to sneeze.
yeah, that's true. But I'm glad you're speaking on your sister because I was curious as to see to ask you, have you ever approached your families and talked about it? And have you ever
They're
seen them reaction?
mad supportive. My mom is the only one I've ever fully told, but they're 100%. My mom is supportive. Like she sends me things all the time, like it's like things about activated charcoal. Or like my sister and my mom, we actually went to the vitamin shop. They got me like right on things that I should be doing, and like because a lot of it does work with my diet. So my mom helped me out with a whole bunch of like colon cleanse things like that, and like ever since then, like I changed my diet a lot. Like I started eating more
Nobody really made a comment at all. So some time so Ant could come back. And he has dropped off the call. Hmm. What can I say at the moment? Envy me? I envy me. What does that mean? I envy. What is that? Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. This is gonna really be a lot bad, but I don't know what happened. Let me see if I can add him again. Let's see here. Already. Thing. Live streaming thing.
Yeah, hello.
Oh, you got here. Cool. I was about to send you another link to it again. But yeah, you
Oh
dropped
yeah.
off. Was it because of your phone or something?
I guess I have no idea.
Do you have your? Are you on your phone?
Yeah.
Do you have power?
On my phone.
What
Yeah,
is your
I'm at like
battery?
40%.
Oh, okay. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, yeah. You were talking about your family. You were talking about your how your
Oh
mother
yeah, my
sister
mom
was
is like
supportive.
mad support. Like she knows 100% about it, and like she's mad supportive, and like the real issue is like my family has allergy problems. So like when I'm on the phone with them, she's all the way up in Margate, and like when I'm on the phone with them, like she's sniffling, like it's funny because like they just have allergy problems. So I just feel like when I get around them, I just like enhance their allergy. Like I don't know. So
Mm,
like it don't really bother them per se, but
mm.
sometimes like when I'm stressed or like if I'm like like moving really fast, sweating, like I start to like I guess I feel it coming out of my pores and stuff like that. Like, cause I don't know, man. Sometimes there's just like no way. Like
So you feel like there's okay. So most of the breath or most of the odor is coming out of your breath, but
I feel
sometimes when you
like,
feel like you're sweating, you feel like it's coming out of your pores and makes you
cause
more
like
odor.
okay, I do this coconut oil thing, right?
Yeah.
And like where like I'll have it like in my mouth or whatever, and like I'll get no reactions as far as that go. But like once like I start moving like in like at work, once I start like if I hop on like the line or whatever and help them and like I start getting sweaty or whatever, then like I feel like then like people start reacting and I'm like damn, because I have the coconut oil and like people weren't reacting, but once I started sweating, they started reacting. So then I feel like that it started coming out of my like pores, I guess, or whatever.
Mm. Do you exercise? Do you exercise regularly? And do you also feel that the whatever thing that's making you smell that bad is coming out of your pores?
I exercise regularly, yeah, all the time. And like especially like that when it makes my mouth dry or whatever, like yeah, it starts to smell bad.
Mm. you did touch on something that was very interesting. You touched on coconut oil. Well, I want to ask you, how many things that have you tried to reduce this odor, like supplements or products have you used?
First thing I tried was peroxide with water. Like
Correct.
occasionally I would pour peroxide in a water bottle and I would rinse my mouth like all the time, like every time I could, like I
Yeah.
would rinse it out. And I felt like it started working, but then immediately the like whatever bacteria, whatever was like, nah, we've like obliterated that baking soda thing. Like we overcame that. So that baking soda thing went out the window. Then after that, I tried just like gum or whatever again, and then like it didn't work. And then now I started like eating really good, like having meals and like 3, 4 times a day, and like meals that are like real good in protein and stuff like Greek yogurt, egg whites, things like that. And um, I started taking the activated charcoal pills and like this colon cleanse and like multivitamin, men's daily, whatnot. And then I
Well,
started
let me ask you
eating.
this. So, let me ask you this. What are the things that you feel like wasn't working? You said hydrogen peroxide you tried, and then you also tried the baking
Not
soda.
baking soda is what I didn't try hydrogen peroxide.
Oh, you didn't try hydrogen peroxide?
Yeah,
You tried baking soda.
yeah,
Okay, and that didn't work.
yeah.
And what were the other supplements or products you tried that didn't work?
Um, because the only other things after the baking soda, my bad if I did say peroxide. I feel like I did say that earlier, but nah, there's no peroxide. But with the baking soda, I just um moved on to the vitamin shop and got the charcoal pills, colon cleanse, things like that, and those things started helping. But because I started eating well, like eliminating all junk foods on my diet, and it really like kind of helped because with the coconut oil added, like it's temporary relief, but it was way better than with just being like it all day. You know what I'm saying?
Well, now there's like so many different versions of coconut oil. Um, you said that are you getting all your supplements from Vitamin Shop, and are you getting like a regular coconut oil, or are you getting like extra virgin coconut oil,
Right now I'm using extra virgin coconut oil, but before what I started with was unrefined,
unrefined coconut oil?
organic coconut oil.
Do you feel like there was a difference in terms of the performance?
Not necessarily. They both do the same thing. They work really good in the beginning, and then like the mouth just start, or whatever it is, just start getting used to it. So I have to switch it up all the time.
Oh, you have to switch it up, meaning
Yeah, like I switch different brands and like different forms of coconut oil.
wow. So I know we had a conversation before on the phone. You said it is very temporary. So sometimes you have to swish the coconut oil in your mouth um, for a good amount of time. Tell me like the amount of hours it takes before like the bad breath to come back in, to kick back in. Like when you swish it in your mouth and then I don't know, maybe you swallow it. How long does it take for
Bro, immediately, immediately,
immediately?
like I like all day, like I'm like, well, my job with me being a manager is easy for me because like I could just hide for a second and like I just like periodically I just like have it in my mouth. If I don't, I get reactions. When I do, I barely get reactions. So
Mm.
it sucks. And if I have to like talk or whatever, like I would just have to swallow it, man. And like some people say that that's not good, and some people say taking teaspoons of coconut oil a day is good.
They
But at the
say
end of the day, at the
they
end of the
say like
day, it
coconut
just
oil, you can't swallow coconut oil is bad for you.
I guess because it turns into like a solid compound or whatever. But there's also studies that say taking 2 teaspoons of coconut oil a day helps your body.
Yeah, I heard it has like antibacterial properties. So
Yeah.
I heard that is good. Now, is there like any other type of oils have you tried that you felt like would try to
I
eliminate?
mean, the vitamins that I take are black seed oil and what is it? Black seed oil and let me look at it for you. Black
Black
seed
seed,
oil and activated charcoal.
activated charcoal? So you feel like I know you talked about colon cleanses before. What type of colon? Do you know the name of the colon cleanse brand that you use? And have you
It
used
was
several brands? And do
super
you feel like one is
super
better than the
colon
other?
cleanse. Super colon cleanse was the first. This is the like because this happened like a week or 2 weeks ago. It's the first time I ever did the vitamin thing. So I got this 30-day super colon cleanse. So after that, I'm just gonna see how it is to see if it was actually things with my gut or whatever. And but obviously with this promotion and everything, like I'm gonna go to the doctor. So we're gonna go from there, man. After the colon cleanse is done, I'm gonna like pretty much finish with it. After these pills are done, I guess I'll just like refill on I guess the activated charcoal oil and like the black seed oil just because like they say it's essential oils and whatnot, but and the one a day vitamins, but I don't really think I'll buy the colon cleanse again because I really just feel like I need to go see like a
So you felt like the
gastroenterologist
colon
or
cleanse was ineffective?
nah, because it's doing its job. Like I'm going, so obviously I feel like this is an issue in the gut area as well. So I just feel like cleaning that out is good, like it's doing its job.
Now,
But
for
it's still there. Like, granted, I'm not gonna say anything is cured. It no, like
yeah.
if you want to say anything helped, then it no nothing helped because everything just made it temporary.
Mm. But I guess you are still able to live a still a sociable life since you say that. I mean, when we spoke on the phone, you still have like girls hitting you up, and you still like can go out, and they still say, "Oh, you smell good" and stuff like that. You still have the ability to live a sociable right life, correct?
Yeah, true, but I'm an introvert myself. Like I'm more focused on my life and like progressing and making the most money I can rather than partying and things like that. So I'm definitely an introvert. I don't really like seek out to do things. Like I rather work and then focus on studies and that's about it. But I do have a form of sociable life. A lot of people like to talk to me and they like to be around me, even though I have a form of a demeanor that's like, yo, don't really talk to me. But
But you
being a
do go
manager,
out to like hangouts or parties and so on and so forth.
yeah, sometimes like yeah, it's not that bad. Like I don't let this thing like take over my life. Like I'm like it is what it is. Like so I just hang out with the truest people I know that just are true to me. Like because it's not it doesn't define me. Like it's not gonna ruin my life.
You know, I find it sort of interesting that you told me that your friends don't, your friends are so real that they will be honest with you if you did smell bad, especially since, you're in a place where people probably make fun of you if you have, funky breath, but they said that they never smelled you. But you said that you still like stay away or you're more distant now more than ever. Why is
Yeah,
that?
because if friends don't really say like I smell bad, they'll do the thing like the sniffle or the hand like nose rub or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So
and I
you
don't.
telling me that they're not really that honest?
Yeah, like the reason why I call them friends is because they still you got the people who go
Just
around you and they'll smell you and they'll be like, oh he. I in their mind, I guess they'll be like, "Oh, he doesn't bathe," or whatever the case may be, and they'll avoid you and like be just like I guess you could say asshole to you for no reason. Then you
yeah.
have the people that just know about it. They cover their nose and shit, but they still just avidly have conversations with you. Like, so that's what I mean by friends. You know what I'm saying? But touch basing on friends, like true friends, like I don't really have that much. Like it's like on a handful kind of level, and those people just do the little handshake. But like me being the kind of person I am, I'm mad genuine and like I really don't judge anyone and like a lot of my quote unquote like not quote unquote but the handful of friends that I have they a lot of people they tell me that and like I guess that's why they are my friends or whatever because I just believe in just being real like there's no point in like in being fake and with issues with like that because with the TMAU I'm not gonna say like oh we deserve our own disability things like that which some people I guess you could say they need but it's just something that needs awareness and some form of scientific research behind it.
So you feel like you do have T-Mal because I never really heard
I
too
feel
many
I have
people.
something, bro. Like I don't know what it is, cause like I'm not a doctor, and like I don't know who
Yeah.
these people are on Facebook posting stuff and saying it's this and that. Like I don't. I don't know what that is. So like I need to focus on science and facts. Like I
Have you
just
ever
like uh-huh.
tested yourself for TMAU?
Nah, never.
You never. Are you planning to?
I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
because
but I
the issue always was just me. Like 2 years ago, like I left my house like kind of with nothing to do, like nowhere to go, things like that. So since then, I built myself up. So I never really had a chance to do things like that because I had to worry about other issues.
yeah. You had to worry about money. I was sure. I would assume.
Yeah, money, housing, things like that.
Mm, okay. So you used to have a girlfriend. So you used to have a girlfriend. You used to hang out a lot with your friends, but once you started realizing that you had like this odor that come out your breath, and you feel also that it might come out your pores if you start to sweat sometimes. But you feel you started to have some type of diet, and you feel that the diet did play a role in reducing it to a degree. So I wanted to ask you, like, what exactly are you eating, and what exactly are you avoiding?
I avoid like McDonald's, things like that, 100%.
So you don't eat
Like
fast
a
food.
100%. Yeah, like granted, I have my days where I will cheat, but like that's very rare. Like once out of like every 2 3 weeks that I go without eating McDonald's or whatever, because that's what I used to always eat and things like that. So it's just like those foods sometimes don't process like digest properly, and like they just you don't know what it is. So I'm trying to focus more on food that I'm conscious of what's in there and things like that. And gracefully working at Panera, I know I have a better understanding and knowledge of what's in the food.
But you
So I
still
eat
but
like
you don't
kale, spinach, like salads, things like that.
are you like a vegetarian?
Nah.
You're not a vegetarian.
I still do my thing like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't let this thing take over my life. Like if one day I feel like I want a cheeseburger, then I'm gonna go get a cheeseburger. But
And
more
there's not
than
gonna be like a dramatic effect in your terms of your body odor, or I guess your bad breath.
I mean there will be, but that touches based on the introvert part. Like I rather like vibe like alone, or if I'm with my because I'm always with my cousin and we always vibe. But when I'm eating, people tend not to have reactions or whatnot because they like we're eating. So yeah, like I really
Mm,
don't care. It's weird, man. Like I'll have a gum with the coconut oil, things like that, and there'll just be no reactions. I could chill in the car and like we'll eat whatever, and there'll be no reactions. And sometimes there is. Like it's just mad
mm,
weird.
So you only said the only food that you said that were bad were like fast food. Is like milk a possible thing that makes you smell bad? Is like bread in itself? Is there like candy? Do you feel like candy makes you smell
Candy,
bad?
yeah, candy, 100%. Anything with like a lot of sugar, 100%. And then yeah, like carbs. Like if I eat a bread or whatever, yeah, I would, yeah,
Okay,
things like
bread,
that, dude, yeah.
but not milk, not anything like dairy.
I guess you could say, but I don't drink milk like that. Like I don't really drink milk a lot.
Now, but you said,
I have a Greek yogurt, but Greek yogurt apparently helps against bad breath.
oh, it does. I never heard that. Wow, I didn't know
You
that.
did?
Yeah,
Well,
Greek.
don't quote me on that. I heard that from like an old lady who was on a nutritional like speech or rant or whatever. So don't quote
Did
me
she
on
say
that,
that
but that's
because
what
it
I
has
heard.
like probiotics, or did she just say because it
Yeah, she
does
brought
have?
up probiotics, but then I also know that like I'm also like trying to like not trying to, but I'm working out, so I just know that Greek yogurt's protein, so I just eat it either way.
Mm, that's interesting. So you know that coconut oil makes your breath smell less, but once you swallow it, it immediately comes back. But it's not. You wouldn't like from 1 out of 10. How offensive do you think your bad breath is? Because when I'm having a conversation with you, it seems like it's manageable. At least at the point that you're at.
After
Let's
burn,
assume that you
after
stop taking all those supplements and you stop taking, you stop eating a good diet and you just went back to normal. How offensive would you rate it from like a 1 out of 10? 10 being like you can clear a room, and one
oh
being
yeah,
no smell at all.
10, 10. The beauty of working in Panera though is like there's drains and shit that smell bad, but not even over it. Like yeah, like 10. Like
10.
if there was a number higher than 10, then it would be higher than 10.
But
Like if I
you also
didn't do
said that you
anything.
never, but you also said that you never heard someone actually say that your breath smells bad.
Yeah, it's just I feel like I really just started focus on it within the last 2 years. I really just got it really became known, like, and it really became worse, like I guess you could say.
And the
Because
only
I
time you ever
always just cruise through life.
and the only time you ever heard someone say that your breath smelled bad was when you were in fifth or sixth grade.
Yeah, but that wasn't in the fifth or sixth grade. She told me years later about during that time.
Oh, it wasn't at during fifth and sixth grade. She told you that
Yeah,
time. Okay. Okay.
she told me about that time years later.
I do have a question from one of the commenters, and he asks, "Do you have hyperhidrosis?"
I don't even know what that is.
That's excessive sweating.
Nah, I have a really I the thing is working with Panera, the reason why I say that I feel like I smell when I perspire a lot is because working with Panera, when I'm on the line per se, I have like some, can you hear me?
Yeah, I get you.
I
You
have
hear me?
something hot in front of me, I have something hot behind me,
Yeah.
and something hot to the left of me. So it makes it
Like
mad hot. And
you're
being
dropping
in
out gas.
Florida, like the AC broke like a month ago and whatever, and it was mad hot. So those are the reasons why I feel like I sweat. But other than that, nah, I have like, bro, like I just I wear like, as far as body odor, like I promise I don't think it's that, because a lot of people when they hug me, they're like, "Yo, you smell good."
But let's go back to that scenario where you sometimes you are in the line and it's hot in the back, it's hot in the front. Do you feel like you're at your worst state of smelling? Because you
Yeah,
did say
I
that
start
odor
I
comes
go
right
out there,
throughout
I do I
your
do my
pores.
my little routine, and then I know I'm about to go out there, so I do my little routine, and then
What's the routine?
the coconut oil, just put some coconut oil in my
Oh,
mouth,
just put some coconut in your mouth.
and then I do my routine, just let it like just stay there, and go out to the line, help out. And then once I start feeling the coconut oil wears off or whatever, like I will go out there, get rid of the coconut oil, chew a gum for like a good like minute or whatever, then put some coconut oil again, go back out, and it would kind of just like, it would work, but it would just be annoying.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now, you did say that chewing gum made it worse, but you also now start actually saying that part of your routine is using coconut oil in tandem with chewing gum. So,
Yeah,
what type do you recommend? Some type of gum? Do you feel like there are certain gums that are better than others, or no?
a lot. I use like Extra or Trident, like they're sugar-free gums, but I mean, sometimes they help, sometimes they don't, but definitely I would encourage people to use gum, because it shows people at the same time that, okay, this man's chewing gum, he's trying, like he's like, I don't know what else. It's not only his breath or whatever, but perceptionally, and like sometimes it does work.
Hmm.
Like I'll use, uh-huh.
You're the first bad breath person I interviewed or at least talked to. So my thing is, I would assume that people who only have breath or odor in their mouth, as long as they just chill and don't really say anything, they can pretty much live a good life. As long as they don't open up their breath and say something, they can live a
See,
normal life because nobody's
that's
gonna
why
suspect a thing. Whereas, like for me,
I
I
don't
can't.
ag-
Even if I'm silent, and I am a silent person, I'm still gonna smell funky. I'm still gonna, have like this odor coming out my skin. So, do you feel that if you were just like a mute, or you played like you're a deaf person and you couldn't speak right out at all, you would pretty much live a normal life?
not, I mean, yes and no, because I am mute like a lot of the time. Like I don't talk. People know me for that, but it, like, when I'm in the barber's chair and I had the coconut in my mouth, like sitting there for that half an hour, he did like have reactions. So like
Uh,
I do still get reactions even if my mouth is shut and I don't talk or whatever. So that's when the TMAU comes in, because I'm like, okay, is it coming out of my skin? Like, what is the issue?
well, with me, it's like, I have body odor, like some just weird body odor condition and stuff like that. And throughout my life, yeah, I saw people rub their nose, but I also overheard comments of people saying I smell like shit and so on and so forth. But in your case, what you're telling me is you never really heard anybody say that you smell bad at all. And I would assume that you would at least once. So maybe there's a possibility that it's not really an odor, like an offensive odor. Maybe it's odorless and it's just um, making people's noses like I don't know, itchy or tickle their noses or something like that, as opposed to it actually just being a bad smelling odor. Have you ever considered that?
I mean, yeah, but I've heard comments like, because I've never heard anyone like directly comment say, "Oh, his breath is bad" or whatever. But I've heard like, "Yo, what's that smell? Like it smells like mold back here." Like,
Oh, when you were
um,
talking, that's when they said that?
no, 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 no. Like just in general, just like around the store, and like that's what I'm saying. Sometimes Panera does smell like that, but no one's directly ever said it to me. But a lot of times, some like when I'm there, like you could it's a little like I guess I enhance the the bad smells in there. I don't know. Sometimes I feel
You
like
feel
that
that
too.
way?
Yeah, I feel like I enhance the like bad smells that are there. But and
So if
then
you're right next to
all
garbage, you're going to
disclaimer,
enhance
like
the garbage smell?
I don't know, like it may sound crazy, but like I don't think so. Like I just that's what I'm letting you know. Like sometimes when there's a bad smell, like it just is like a bad smell.
Well, can you give me like another example? Because you did say like when you were at a certain area in Panera Bread, the mold smell intensified. You feel like that was a part of you. Is there another instance outside of Panera Bread where you felt like you intensified the smell of whatever's? And here's another thing: if you intensified the smell, do you intensify only bad smells, or could you intensify good smells as well?
Nah, definitely. I don't think I can intensify good smells. But
Okay,
with the bad smells, like I remember I did this other job and like yeah, like the whole room smelled kind of like similar. Everybody was reaction, like everybody was reacting. So that's what made me really understand. Like, okay, Antonio, this is like definitely you. Like, and at first it was just crazy to me because I was like, bro, there's no way one person can mess up a whole room. Like that's ridiculous. But that's what the
hmm,
situation is.
that's interesting. Well, you still say you have a social life, but you're still very to yourself. Is there like is there, what is your next step in terms of trying to, I guess, uncover this weird mystery of, people covering their noses and stuff like that? Have you considered trying to do, I think I already asked you this, but have you considered trying to do different oils to try to eliminate this thing? Because yeah, you did say that you tried black seed oil. You had like black seed oil caps and stuff.
Yeah.
Have you ever considered like putting the black seed oil in your mouth and see if there will be like differences in terms of the bad
Yeah,
things going
I
down?
was gonna as soon as this ran out, I was gonna try the liquid versions, but more importantly, going forward, I'm gonna check out gastro doctors and ear, nose, and throat, see what they say. And I know that they say doctors tend to not have an answer, but some things usually work. Like I don't care. I'm right now. I'm not necessarily looking for anything permanent because I know that there isn't, but temporary relief is always good. Like
Yeah,
like it's better than nothing. So
yeah, better than nothing.
and
Absolutely.
like I have a mad optimistic view about it. It's just like, dude, like you're here, you're gonna have to do your job. Like if you let it consume you and you play the victim all day, like that's you. Like there's people out here suffering with different crazy life-threatening diseases and
Yeah,
whatnot, and you just have a bad smell. Like okay, whatever. Like now, if you're getting discriminated against and things like that are happening at a job, then take your legal action because technically this could be classified as a disability for certain people. But like
that's
live
the thing. I don't think it is classified as a disability at this moment.
Well,
Because
if you get
before you go to
diagnosed, like
doctor,
what I mean like is like if you get diagnosed with TMAU and you have a doctor's note and like you give that to your employer and your employer fired you specifically because people said, because I've heard of people say that they've gotten hired because blatantly the manager said something about their body odor. So if you had a doctor's note that really said you had TMAU, like I'm pretty sure that's grounds for them to get their job back. Like you can't fire some because it's like if an employee came to work and said they had um let's say a really bad food poisoning or whatever, and they were still damn, that wouldn't be a good example, but did you understand what I said before?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Because they can't really fire you because they can't fire you if you have a disability and stuff like that.
With
Because
the
you can
doctor's
take legal action.
approval, which is what I meant.
Can you
Like,
repeat that?
with the doctor's approval.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But that's the thing. Like a lot of people do like check out for TMAU or try to take tests, and they get a negative, right? So since they get negative results for it, they still are not classified as having a disease, right? Since this thing is still TMAU still is unusual, and there's still a lot of information that's not available. So with people who get tested negative, they people can still say, "Oh, you just smell bad for the sake of smelling
Yeah,
bad," you know.
and
Um,
that is unfortunate, but like like I said, man, like sometimes you just gotta go out there, bro. Like there jobs are needed. Like no
yeah.
matter what kind of job, like jobs are needed. Like if you have a TMAU problem or a bad breath problem, look up jobs that are bad in stench. Go to like wasteman jobs, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not putting anyone down, but it's
No,
just the
that's a good
truth. Like
idea.
go
I mean, I
go
was
somewhere
actually thinking
that
about
doesn't
becoming a
smell the
garbage
best.
man.
Yeah, like don't go somewhere that smells the best. Like
Yeah.
just I don't know, man. Like I just feel like especially if people get together, like if you and I were to able to meet up one day, or a lot of people in the group they could meet up. Like people just need to understand that it's just your life and you need to live it. Like you woke up today, a lot of people didn't. Like I understand people are in very stressful situations where people are making fun of them and things like that, but
Mm,
it's just the issue that we have to deal at hand. Like Ben, that dude Ben you had on, like I understand. I agreed with certain points. I disagreed with certain points, but overall, he just had an optimistic perspective on it, and it was just pretty good to see that because it's just like, yo, I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be alive. I'm gonna need to make my money, make ends meet. So I'm gonna do what I have to do.
yeah, that is true. I do want to actually read a comment that one of the people wanted to ask you, and they were asking you if you have PATM or do you feel like you have PATM? That's from Lee
I
Diana.
mean, I do, I do study people a lot. Like when I'm in a room, I study people a lot. When I see them touch their nose outside of a glass window, like I study people, but I still, when I'm next to them or something like that, yeah, I'll be like, damn, it is because of me. Because sometimes reactions do happen because of me. Because I'll see someone talking with someone else far away from me or whatever, but as soon as they come around me, like they'll sniffle or something like that. But
Mm,
overall, like I don't know. I believe that some people do have just natural reactions, and especially in the food business, like there's a
yeah.
salt and pepper. We use salt and pepper a lot, so a lot of people sniffle because of that too. So it's just weird, man. Like I'm not one of those that really focus on it because I'm not gonna dwell on it. Let me kill me. But yeah, I feel like I do have a form of pattern, not to be too, paranoid or anything. But yeah.
I do want to go back to the experience that you said when you go to not the doctor, to the barber, and you said that the guy reacted to you. Were your mouth was not open when he was reacting to you, but he was like sniffling or rubbing his nose or doing stuff
Yeah, because with my mouth being closed, I had to, and especially having a coconut oil, I had to breathe through my nose.
like.
So
Hmm.
that's why I feel like I need to go to the ears, nose, and throat doctor because obviously it
You
either
feel
had to
like
come
there's
out my
something in
nose.
your nose too.
Yeah, because as a child, I never blew my nose. Like I hated blowing my nose. I had like the worst thing about it. Like I felt like it was the worst thing in the world. So I just never really blew my nose unless I was really, really sick.
Mm, that's interesting. But luckily you do have like health insurance now, so now you can definitely go. How's the health insurance right now? How much you have to pay for copay or for a primary doctor?
I have to actually go over that paperwork tomorrow since it started yesterday. I was
Oh,
off today.
oh,
Yeah. So I'm
okay.
going over all that paperwork tomorrow, but
So you were paying you before when you were going to the dentist, you were paying all that out of pocket. How much was that?
dude, a lot, a lot. Like I remember I had a series of things that totaled up to like 1,800, and like
Jesus Christ.
it's hard, dude, without insurance and
Yeah.
being on your own at 22 and just having like before my promotion, just having like an hourly job. It's just not. It doesn't cut it because I wanted to go to school too, but you can't go to school if you're paying all that, dude.
Yeah. What do you want to go to school to be?
I actually want to be a lawyer. So
Oh,
I'm really intrigued with politics. When I start talking about politics, I can't shut up. I love partisanship and just everything about that. So I wanted to ultimately major in political science and end up being a lawyer going forward from there.
damn, that's dope. Are you thinking about going to like Miami-Dade or something like that? I know Miami-Dade. Are you like thinking about doing like community college, then going to like a university? Or,
Yeah, BC then FIU is what my plan is.
oh, to go to FIU. Uh,
Yeah.
okay, because that's okay. That's interesting. Wow. So, what is your plan right now in terms of? Are you just like trying to save up money or something?
Yeah, right now I'm just going hard at work with the promotion, trying to save up, um get to be able to pay for my classes. I mean, well, get to be able to finish going to the doctors and getting things situated, see where I'm at, and in about a year or or fall semester and later on this year, I could enroll in some classes.
Mm, that's dope. I wanted to ask you, what do you feel? What do you feel like you're gonna be in 5 years? Like in terms of your success, in terms of, I guess your social, I guess social success. That's probably a bad way to say it, but like in terms of your odor condition, do you feel like you're going to figure out something within the next 5 years? Do you feel like you're going to be at a certain level of success? You said in a year you're going to try to go to FIU, try to get into FIU. Do you feel like you're going to have a relationship, or are you going to go back to your friends and try to, I don't know, be more sociable? Where do you see yourself in 5 years in terms of all that stuff?
I see success. I'm not gonna necessarily say where I see myself because a lot of people say, "Oh, a man with goals and things like that." Yeah, my goal is to be successful, but I'm not gonna say exactly where I think I will be. But I do definitely know about myself and with my character that I push that all beside me. When I go to school, I'm not interested in having friends. Even though I know I have group projects, things like that, I'm gonna try to take more online classes and just really focus on my craft and focus on my studies and like attain my degrees and then ultimately go in my field. Like I'm at the point where I really don't care for friends or for others. Like I care for life. I care for I'll help anyone in the world. Like I have the best soul. Like someone the other day was driving a truck that had a whole bunch of cardboard and it all fell off and I just stopped and helped him. Like I'll help anybody.
Yeah.
But um as far as that, like nah man, I'm really just focused on my success and one day having a family and providing for them and just that's about it. Like I know I'll be successful, probably be in school, probably have another one or two promotions at work. Like the sweet part about my job is just that it it has opportunity for growth and like my work ethic beats everything else because they see that I change numbers. So
Do you feel like you're getting paid pretty well within your job? Or and
yeah,
is there a possibility that if they give you another upgrade, not upgrade, promotion, that you might consider just staying at that job as opposed to try to become a major in political science or try to become a lawyer?
nah. My whole goal is to get back in school, but I just can't afford it. Like a lot of people go with financial aid or they're backed by mom and dad or
Yeah,
they have their job, but like I don't have really much any of that, and I don't want to sound like someone. I'm not sad about it or anything.
no,
It
it's
gives
just
me my
unfortunate.
motivation. Like it helps me go forward. It gives me my motivation. So with paying rent, like one day hopefully I do hope to go to college. Like that's my thing is I do want to get a degree. I do want to fulfill my dreams as far as that go, but I need to live day in and day out, pay bills.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Are you doing it full? I guess you are doing it full time if you're a manager. So how are you going to figure out? I guess it is possible to do full time job and then also do college at the same time because you can choose your own hours and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I could get that done, but it'd be a little bit slow because I can't take a full on four classes plus
Yeah,
45
yeah.
hours.
You have to like take your time and only do like a couple a week.
Yeah, so but
Mm.
definitely goals are there. It's just I really want to share positivity with a lot of people because a lot of people are down and they're down and out, but I just hope a lot of people do take care of their body and they try to go and get supplements and they try to, they floss and they still don't neglect their mouth because even though, yeah, you could say I'm plagued with this, you still got to floss, you still got to brush your teeth, you still got to
Yeah,
do things like that. You got to take care of yourself.
yeah, and within the group, I know that there's a lot of recommendations for certain products. Like you already said that you're taking like activated charcoal. I guess that you're doing like the tablet forms. Have you ever
Yeah.
tried like these like products where there's like alcohol, like mouthwash that is like activated charcoal, or like toothpaste that is made with activated charcoal? And have you,
I'm gonna try it because I'm gonna try it, but I know a lot of things don't work because if it did, everyone would have it all over their pages. But there's just a lot of different things at hand. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone's different, is what I mean.
yeah. That is true. I'm just reading a comment. I'm sad. I don't want to go back to the like the firing issue, but I think Lee Diana said a very interesting thing that I was actually thinking. She said the thing with firing is they will not fire you for the odor. However, they'll find every excuse in the books to demote you or get rid of you and suggest it's due to performance. So like that's definitely a thing I've also heard and notice from other people who make comments about like having odor problems. Like they say that their bosses would do like little things to try to make them get fired by like adding a whole bunch of work and stuff like that to them, to the point that it's impossible to do this work. And then they'll say, "Oh well, since you couldn't do this work, you're not performing up to up to speed. So we got to fire you. We got to let you go." Has there ever been any instances in your life where you felt like people were giving you a hard time because you had this bad breath thing?
No, I never feel like anyone's giving me a hard time. I do feel like people have been like they'll sniffle or they'll just be annoyed in the moment, but no one's ever given me a hard time. And to touch base on the firing part, yes, I do understand that. Everyone's different. My attitude and I know I'm young and I know I'm doing things on my own. So my thing is like I push everything aside. If I'm like, okay, you want to give me 30 pages of work I need to have completed by the night or whatever to keep my job, I'm gonna go ahead and bust my ass and I'm gonna try to get that done. And like hard things like that I feel like can be clearly seen. I don't know how other people's professions are and how their managers are and how other things work in their industry, but for me it's just like people really focus on your work and not hearsay and things like that. Like if I my answer to that would be to just go in there and bust your ass and everyone would see it. And if you're being overworked, like people will see that. Like I've had people not like me at my job or whatever and they'd be like, damn bro, you do really work hard, you're one of the hardest working ones. So I'm like, I just feel like hard work does go a long way, no matter
Yeah,
what kind of like I mean not no matter what kind of decision. No matter what kind of what's the word again? No matter what
obstacles,
yeah, no matter what
tribulations.
obstacles you're going through with your PATM or TMAU, but there's really no reason if you really go in there and work hard and try to get it done. Like if you go in there and they give you 30 pages and you're like, nah, I'm not gonna do this, then they'll unfortunately it'll happen. But life sucks and life is real and it's not you're not above life, so you unfortunately have to conform.
Yeah. I remember actually having a conversation with one woman about how they were doing the same thing to her. They were putting like extra work or not being helpful and trying to, they gave her certain tasks and they didn't really give her any type of information on how to complete this task. So they had to figure it out. She had to figure it out on her own. And they wouldn't give her any type of assistance because they wanted her to fail because they were just tired of being around her because the thing about this disability, I don't know if it's the same way with people who have chronic bad breath, but with people who have like this chronic bad body odor, whether it's TMAU or whatever in between, like they're going to treat you like like a second class citizen. In
Yeah.
your experience, you say you haven't gotten that type of reaction from people, but for my experience, especially from my previous job, yeah, they do treat you real bad and stuff like that, and they couldn't really figure out a reason why to fire me because I was doing my fucking job, even though I was getting paid so low. But going back to the woman I had a conversation with, like they were treating her like dirt, to the point it's like, why am I even here? So like I don't know. I don't know. I guess I just have like a different perspective, and I think it's because we have like
No,
two
of
different.
course. Of course we'll have different perspectives. It's just because I guess the industries are not different, but who you're dealing with or who they were dealing with are different than the people I guess I'm dealing with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I,
of course, and of course, people suffering with other body odor issues than I am, like the mouth or armpits or things like that. Like, of course, I wouldn't want to like offend anyone. Like, sometimes it's tough. I don't. I'm there with you, but all I can say is I'm fighting, man. I'm gonna
yeah.
fight. Like,
Yeah. I do want to read one of these comments who asked you a question. Rico YouTube asked you, have you ever tried celery juice? Have you ever tried like a celery? There is some type of celery juice fasting thing that people say is possible to reduce their odor, or they say they have like positive results. Have you tried any like fasting in terms of cranberry juice fasting or celery juice fasting or just water fasting in general?
nah. I drink water like a lot. Like I have like 6 bottles of water a day. All I do is drink water. Every time I order out, I'll grab a water. I eliminate all soda. I can't say I eliminated all sugar because I still eat things that contain sugar, but soda is completely out of my diet. I've tried V8 green juices. I really don't like it, so no.
Yeah, I don't think
I drink green passion smoothies on my job, but it kind of makes my breath smell a
green
little bit
passion
worse too.
smoothies.
Yeah, it has kale and spinach in it.
Oh, that's like a product. Green passion
Yeah,
smoothies. Where you buy
yeah.
that from?
Panera.
Oh, okay. So, oh, that's in Panera. Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So,
Green passion smoothies.
I eat that, and I mean I drink that, and some things help, some things don't, man. I approach people who have bad reactions sometimes, and they don't have a reaction, and then I'll approach them, and then they'll have reactions. And I just change my diet for the good of it, and take these supplements, and
Yeah.
just go with the day on.
Let me ask you this: like, before you had this bad breath thing, or you started noticing it, were you always an introvert, or were you also an extrovert?
I was
Do you feel like
completely
you like
like
switched over once you start realizing you really smelled bad to people?
yes. I mean I switched over ending of high school either way, cause just I don't know. I just switched over, but not necessarily because of the body odor. But as soon as I realized about the body odor, yeah, I switched harder, like hardcore. Like I'm more introvert. But it's just because I rather just stay out of people's way. Like I'm really just focusing on my craft, and I don't need to have a shit ton of friends. I don't need to go out all the time,
Yeah.
which I do. I have my friends, and I will go out, but I am more of an introvert because of it. Because it's just like I don't blame people because if I didn't have this and like I smelled something funky, I'd be like, yo, what the fuck is that? Or I'd crack a
Yeah.
joke. So it's just humanity. It's like some
Yeah, that's
people
the
are,
thing. Like, I mean, I can look at it in a perspective, or at least in their perspective. Like, if you smell really bad, if you do smell like you stepped in shit, and you smell like you stepped in shit forever, why would I want to be around?
yeah,
You know, even when I think about like certain documentaries that were on TLC or Discovery Health Channel, there's certain documentaries about like little kids who have these like tumors that grow on their face. So they are very grotesque looking, and when they
yeah,
have to go outside with people, go outside with their peers and stuff, a lot of them like stray away from them because naturally they're just disgusted by their look because their face is so messed up. And I feel like that's the same way with people who have like body odor. It's like you have just this thing that is like naturally driving people away. So it's understandable that people don't want to be around you and so on and so forth. But at least maybe in your, at least from what I'm gathering from your, from talking to you, is like it's not as bad as some people who feel that they're being driven away
Yeah,
because
no, cause I have a really happy spirit. Like I have a lot of regular customers that even hug me. Like they sit down, they talk to me. Like they'll react, but like I don't know, man. It's just I have such a great personality, and I'm not trying to boast about myself or do anything, but I choose to be good about it. I choose to be happy, and just I choose to live my life, and I'll do my things to subdue it. And a lot of times when I talk to the customers, that it'll be like suppressed a little bit, but like I have my people who love me, and I
yeah,
have my family who loves me, some friends who love me. So it's just like, yo, I'm not gonna kill myself for this. Like, it is what it is. Like, a
yeah.
lot of people are facing a lot worse than I am. So,
That is true. That is true. Sometimes I think to myself, like, there are a lot of people who are facing worse conditions. Like, if we can talk a little bit, like things that are happening outside, America. I know there's like some wars that
yeah,
are happening in a country like Yemen, where there's like little children dying, slowly dying because there's no food available. So they're starving to death and stuff like that. And I guess if you like hear or read about those types of things, it does humble you a little bit, but at the same time, it's like, it doesn't stop, um, the social rejection that you might get from people who might have it worse than me. I might have complaints about, having body odor and stuff like that, but there might be somebody out there who has it 10 times as worse as me, or even your condition where your thing is only in bad breath. That might be someone who has like 10 times as worse. So it's not like, um, they can just easily get over it because it's more life not life threatening, life ruining than what we're having at the moment.
yeah,
I did wanted to ask you, is it okay that I can put out your email if anybody wants to talk to you or connect with you?
yeah. The new one I sent you, right? Get
Oh yeah,
over
you
it.
want me to send you the new one, so it's okay to
Yeah,
do the new one.
yeah, man. And I'm also up for having another discussion, and I'll do like a face reveal, but it's just right now I just wasn't too ready for it because I was actually not going to be able to make the interview because I recently got some bad news, like really bad news that touches really close to my heart. But
Damn.
um um
Would you
it's
like to
cool.
share?
I'm here, you know what I'm saying? But to touch back on everything, it's just I hope people learn to stop thinking so much and focusing so much on other people and their reactions. And even though it's going to be hard, there's still people out there that do love you. And if you don't believe so, there are people still out there like myself. I'll talk to anyone in this world. Like if there's anyone in the comments or whatever the case may be, like I would be there for anyone because a lot of people just don't talk to anyone or don't or have like these suicidal thoughts because no one's there, no one's willing to hear them out and relate to them. But I'm just I'm different, man. Like I'm here for anyone. Like people need to understand that this condition should not make you. Like it shouldn't. Even though I am an introvert and I do not go out and things like that, it doesn't bother me. Like I go into work, I do my job, I talk to people, like go to family outings. Like it is what it is. Like this is my
Right.
life. Unfortunately, I have it. So
Let
you
me
have
ask
to
you
cool.
this. I'm glad you're talking about like depression and suicidal thoughts. Have you considered, do you have bouts of loneliness or do you have bouts of depression within your experience? I know it was like only 3 or 4 years you said you had it.
No, what I'm actually battling right now, which is truly funny, is a a girl wants to like come over and you feel me?
Yeah,
She
and
wanna
chill with
you feel me? You know what I'm saying? And it's like I'm holding off just because I know I smell. It's just like yo, I don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? But
shit, you better take that.
nah, like
I mean, because you tell me right now, like, you had a previous girlfriend, and when you had that disease in your mouth, I mean, she still was with you. So, if the other woman that's right now in your presence, like, has that same like supportive energy, I mean, shit, why not
Yeah,
take a
you're
chance?
right. I'm gonna do it, but it's just like those are things that are in my. Those are the only things that come up in my mind. Like when it comes to when females want to chill, cause like I guess females still want to chill. Sometimes I'm in my head like, yo, why you want to chill with me? But
Because she likes you. So
yeah,
you
but
still
it's
be like,
just
you still be
weird, bro.
I guess you go out to meet these women or whatever, or is this woman like in your social circle? That's how you came to be. You had started clicking with each other.
Yeah,
Oh, so she was in your social circle. So she was like amongst your friends, or was it like people like in your job? That's how you connected with her.
people on my job,
Oh, so she's like a coworker or something like that.
pretty much. But yeah,
Mm. So she's been around you, probably had conversations with you.
yeah. That's the thing. Like she's been around me and things like that. That's why in my head I'm like, yo, you do not know who I am. So that's why it just makes me all feel like, yes, I have the smell, but I guess it's bearable, or I guess I'm thinking too much about it.
Mm. I don't know. I wouldn't think it's that unbearable if a woman's like wants to hang out with you and chill and had conversations with you and which I guess she was close to you at certain points, like and has she ever reacted to you, rubbed her nose, so on and so forth?
Yeah,
She has, but she can still bear it. So I guess it's not as bad as you feel it is.
and yeah, man. Like I don't know, bro. This is just crazy and stupid. It's so mental, and it's so like. I'm not saying it's mental, just it's in people's head and only like a pill can cure it. But I'm just saying like it messes with your mental, bro.
Yeah, it does. It definitely does. It makes you very anxious and it makes you very paranoid. We already had that conversation earlier.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
you did say that you couldn't smell it, or you did say that you could smell it.
I guess yeah, I can smell it. I can smell it. I can smell it and I can feel it. Like
You can
it's
feel it.
weird. Like I can feel it
You
in
can
my mouth.
feel it
Like
in
I'll
your
feel
soul.
like yeah, bro. I feel it in my soul, man. You could put it like that.
So you just feel like dirty sometimes, and then other times you feel clean, or you feel like things are under control.
I feel like my mouth, like I just be feeling like it's dry, and like it's gonna smell bad if I open it or something like that, or it smell bad right now. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Like when it's dry. But
Okay.
I do know like I should probably not smoke, but I've been smoking for so long. Like I kind of just smoke. Like it's cool for me. Like it helps me cope. I guess you could say.
So when you feel like your mouth is dry, that's when you feel like it's at its worst.
Yeah, definitely.
And you also feel like smoking exacerbates it, makes it worse as well, too.
Yeah, which is I even think it's scientifically proven. You know what I'm saying?
Mm. Because I know there's a lot of people who smoke. I noticed that there's a lot of people who smoke, and they said that it makes them smell worse. Uh,
Yeah, bad. Drinking alcohol too.
drinking alcohol makes you smell worse too.
Yeah, like makes it smell worse.
Makes it smell worse. What about
Yeah,
like vodka, like something that doesn't really have an odor that makes you
bro,
smell worse?
all liquor, bro. For
All
me,
liquor.
anything. Maybe because I be mixing, but yeah.
Mm, that's interesting. That's interesting. Because I mean, I was just reading a comment on the board today where they were talking about how this guy had PATM and he said that whenever he drinks alcohol, he gets less symptoms. Now, he doesn't have bad breath, but I don't know. I guess people have mixed feelings on in terms of what alcohol does to their body. But I do know that's noticed that there's a lot of people who smoke and they say that it makes them smell bad. Do you have like white coat on your tongue?
Sometimes yeah, sometimes I mean not really anymore because I scrape my tongue every day when I brush my teeth.
And you feel do you like uh, scrape your tongue and then also like floss and do you feel
Yeah, I
like
scrape my
flossing
tongue,
plays a
floss.
does
Yeah,
that
major role. Cause like those bacteria sit in your mouth and they create volatile sulfur compounds,
mm.
so they make it worse.
So you flossed and you scraped your tongue and you feel like that has improved your bad breath.
Nah, like it doesn't like necessarily improve it. That's why I feel like it's more than just a bad breath issue. Cause like I clean my tongue. I go to the dentist. They clean it. Like they sent me home.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like it's something in my stomach. Like I just feel like I don't know, man. Like I just feel like it's coming from out there.
Hmm.
Like
I do
I
have
do understand it's isolated to my breath sometimes, but I don't know, man.
a question from the chat. This is from Ben the Black Butterfly, and he asks, do you have any type of digestive problems?
Not that I'm aware of. I know I go normally. Like even well, I'm on this colon cleanse right now, so I'm just going like all the time, but I don't really have a digestive problem. No, I've never had one before. I've always gone regularly,
So you have no
pretty much.
constipations, you have no irritable bowels, you don't have like
I
diarrhea.
mean, I feel like I've been constipated before in my life, yeah, but never to the
Have you
point where it's
noticed
like day in and day
any
out. Like
change in your odor when you were constipated?
I wasn't. I really wasn't. I guess I wasn't thinking or looking for that when I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
constipated.
yeah. Most people wouldn't consider that.
Yeah.
What else? Do you have like weak stomach acid in your gut, or I guess I mean, I guess since you just recently got some insurance, now you can look at all that type of stuff. But you probably haven't
Yeah.
type of stuff.
Yeah, I really haven't looked at any of that, any of those type of things. But the one true thing that I do know works temporarily, but really good, is coconut oil. I'll tell you that.
Coconut oil. So
Yeah.
yeah, that I'm glad you said that because I do want to ask you for anybody who has similar symptoms of bad breath like you do, what would you recommend? What would you recommend to reduce their odor? I know coconut oil is a is the primary thing you constantly say. What are like other things you would probably recommend to people who might suffer from chronic bad breath?
You could try Dr. Katz Perio breath products. So some of them work, but you have to understand. Well, let me say the products first. You can try that activated charcoal, black seed oil, coconut pulling oil. Just visit the vitamin shop and ask about it. They have tons of um, products, and don't be too shy to go in there. Like that's actually a place that'll go in there and you'll walk out with things that'll help you. But
Yeah,
you can definitely go ahead and try activated charcoal and cleansing yourself and doing things like that. But um, you really got to focus on your diet, and you got to understand that there's a lot more things that are in play when it comes to it. And um, that's really much it. Like get the coconut oil and try to eat well and just try to be positive. And anxiety really um exaggerates it in my case. So I feel
yeah.
like when I'm less anxious, I'm fine. So I just feel like people should just be a little less anxious when it comes to it. Granted, I don't know people's situation, but in mine, I'm able to calm down sometimes. So
I do have another question from Ben the Black Butterfly, and he wants to know, is it hard for you to swallow? And do you sometimes have any type of tight throat?
nah, it's never really hard for me to swallow, and I don't have tight throat. I've actually I ever since I joined this group on Facebook, I've seen Ben's post a lot, so I really look into what he says and things like that. And there's a lot of things that I don't have the symptoms for when it comes to what he's asking. But no, I don't at least I don't think I feel it that I have things like that. Like it's normal for me. Like if I drink some water right now, let's see. Yeah, it just kind of just goes down regular. Like I've never had like a issue.
Mm. I did want to ask you this. I remember having a discussion with you on the phone, and we were talking about certain possibilities of how you got this. Now, I guess I was suggesting, well, I didn't really suggest it, but you said the first time it happened was when you were smoking weed with your friends. So, do you feel like the saliva that you were sharing with your friends might have contributed to this weird disorder or condition that you have? And if not, like what theories do you think might be the reason why you now have it?
I feel like I've heard that it's hereditary.
Yeah, I heard
I've
that.
heard that it's hereditary.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's one that could be the case since this girl said she smoked it in the fifth or sixth grade. But obviously, smoking is it's gonna not help. It makes your mouth dry as hell. So um, I really can't say when, but now I just within the past 2 3 years I realized that I have it and it's something I need to deal with.
Mm. Well, is there any other questions from the chat that you want to ask Ant? Sometimes it's caused from large tonsil stones. Yeah, I've heard stuff about tonsil stones. When you were at the doctor, did he see anything else noticeable as opposed to your teeth like deteriorating?
As far as tonsil stones, no.
No tonsil stones. Do you feel like there's anything in your mouth that's like, I guess, odd or should be looked at again? Or, um,
Yeah, I'm going back in for a routine cleaning, but I do feel like there's probably another tooth decaying or something like that.
mm,
And it sucks because I'm 22 years old and like
yeah.
I'm just young as hell.
Yeah, since we were talking about like hereditary or things that might be in your family, is that like something that's in your family possibly?
Um, I don't think so. No, like I don't. I really don't want to get into my life story, but like unfortunately, I can't tell you about on my mother's part, nor can I tell you about my father's part. So
Damn,
I
that's a
really don't. Yeah, there's nothing really I can go off of when it comes to hereditary.
mm, hmm. Well, other than that, is there any other questions I do have? Um, you already answered all the questions I wanted to ask. Let me see if there's any other questions in chat. There's no other questions in chat. Okay. Well, Ant, I do appreciate you stepping by and giving us the interview and giving us your experience or your life and the things that you recommend and the theories that you have about this chronic bad breath. Um, is there anything you would like to say to the viewers before we go?
Just keep your head up. Try to do every supplement you can. I know some of them are expensive, and if you don't want to do supplements and you just want to live your life free, then go ahead and do it. Like no one can stop you. Like you're here for a reason. Don't ever, if you ever suicidal and things like that, try to reach out to someone. Hell, if he's gonna put my email in the description, you can reach out to me, man. Like I'm fully with you. I have this horrendous issue that I have to deal with too, and it's hard, but you'll get over it. You won't get over it, but you'll be able to fight through it. And just to touch last base with you, um, if you ever wanted to do a live like with me, I don't know if it's possible with me, Ben, and yourself, like that'd be great because I feel like those are three minds that are those would be three minds that are great to pick at, and
Yeah, I mean, like next Saturday, I'm going to do like a hangout. So I'm going to try to invite as many people on as possible. So if, anybody listening to that, next Friday, February the 9th, I'm going to try to do a hangout and we'll just talk about a certain topic, a main topic that's on whatever main topic that is being presented. And then we'll just talk and maybe even talk about other stuff. So that is if you are open on a Saturday at Saturday at 9 p.m., we can definitely do something like that.
all right, man, for sure, bro. Just you have my number, and we could go forward from there. But as far as this goes, I guess we can wrap it up here.
All right. Well, this is the end of the interview. It is Ant. It is me, and we are out.
All right.